Come on in, come on in, come on in. All geeks are welcome in this space. Let's learn together and seek his face. I'm Lem Filia, a.k.a. Bad Gamer Elite, your host for this Sound Maiden podcast, sponsored by LifeVest.com. God Games and Geekery gives us an opportunity every Tuesday to chat about the crossroads of my passions and my faith. I can't wait to learn and discuss with you. I love the Far Cry video game series. My first was Far Cry 5, and let me tell you, I was hooked. The action, the stealth, the stress wasn't even lessened when I took on Voss in the previous installment, Far Cry 3. By far, Far Cry New Dawn was my absolute favorite, but Far Cry 4, it has a special place in my heart. It was one of the first games I ever did a speed to the credits run. It was super easy too. If you listen to the guy in charge, you can be to the credits of this 40 to 100 hour game in 12 minutes or less. I don't want to spoil too much, but it can be done. This past winter, I was invited to lead a workshop for the National Youth Retreat program, Quake. We talked about what the premise of this podcast has been. The connection of faith and our geekiness. It was an amazing experience. And if you're into youth retreat stuff, check them out at quakeevents.com. One of the questions we asked was, how many of you believe your parents want you dead? Now, outside of a few jokers, no one said yes. Then I asked, how many of you believe your parents want bad for you? Again, virtually no one said yes. We came to the logical conclusion that our parents want us to have good lives. So I ask, why do we throw a fit when our parents or leaders tell us we can't do the one thing we want to do? We acknowledge they want good for us, but when they say, don't play that game, we throw a fit. Now, parents listening, you're not exempt from this either. What about when your boss says you can't do that one thing you know could rock for that client, but they won't let you? We all have people to answer to. One thing I always let my kids do if they ask is go to LifeFest. It's one of the nation's largest Christian music festivals. If you haven't been, July 9th through the 12th is a great chance to check it out. I personally can't wait to have my face rocked off by Skillet. Check it out at lifefest.com today. We all have people who are responsible for us. Even though the rules they give us might make them seem like the bad guy, we should listen because when we do, we are doing what is right, and they are responsible for all of that. The Bible tells us in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 1, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Before you adults start wagging your finger at the kids, why don't you skip down to verse 5? Slaves or employees, obey your earthly masters or your shift supervisors with respect and fear, submission, and sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Knowing that God has our best interest in mind can set our mind at ease about following our leaders. Remember, they're human too, and they'll mess up, but if we do as God instructed, all things will work together for good for them who love the Lord. What's that one thing you need to obey on that you have trouble with? I encourage you to talk to that person in charge and work through it today. That's it for this week. I can't wait to join you again where you live, play, and work. Remember, you are geeky, you are loved. Peace.